Over the course of this year, we will be engaging in a Socratic Seminar discussion. A Socratic Seminar is a method of discussion inspired by Socrates, who was a Greek philosopher. Socrates' thinking and beliefs were that in order to teach people, you would not just give them answers. However, you would rather ask questions to help people arrive at answers on their own. When we conduct a Socratic seminar in our class, it's important that you come prepared and have read the required readings or watch the required videos and come with some questions prepared. We will go over how to write questions as well. Since this is a discussion, it is important to be an active listener and speaker and contribute to the discussion throughout the duration of its time. You also need to make sure that you are speaking clearly and one at a time so that your classmates can hear you and respond to your questions and comments. Even if you disagree, we need to be respectful and we can politely express our ideas even if they're different from our classmates. Most importantly, you're going to be bringing in evidence from your reading or watching these videos to make sure that you are supporting your answers and questions with the readings in preparation. Additionally, when we explain our answers to our classmates, we're not just going to respond with simple yes or no answers. We are going to explain why we believe and think the way we do. The Socratic Seminar has a few different roles, and the following tutorial is going to go through each of those roles. The first thing is the Socratic Seminar setup. We will be sitting in two circles. The inside circle, located here, is where the players will sit. The players will be the ones speaking in the discussion. If you are seated in the outside circle, you are one of the coaches. A coach and a player will be paired up together. The coach will be taking notes on what the player participates and contributes into the discussion and will be providing feedback to their player throughout the discussion. There are two separate forms, one for the coach and one for the player. If you are a player, you will be receiving this form. The learning targets here are listed for you at the top. You are going to be able to review and research materials to be discussed, create questions and locate text evidence to contribute to the discussion, participate by posing questions and elaborating on your own ideas, and respond to questions using evidence from any sources provided. Additionally, you can identify text evidence to support your own thinking or link a common idea or conclusion about a text. Before the discussion begins, all players will set 2 speaking goals or skills that they would like to work on in the seminar. The scoring guide is broken down into 4 different criteria: advanced, proficient, basic, and below basic. What you need to do when you are in the player's role is you need to highlight 2 goals that you would like to work on. So for example, something that I would like to work on is I would like to work on asking clarifying questions. And so I would go ahead and I would highlight that. And then I would also like to quote the text to support a claim. And I would go ahead and highlight that. So those would be my 2 goals that I want to work on during my participation in the Socratic Seminar. At the end of the Socratic Seminar, once it's over, you will write a short reflection on the back of your paper, seeing if you met your speaking goals. You will explain why or why not you were able to meet those goals, and if you didn't meet those goals, what you could do in the future, and if you did, how you can continue to meet these goals. Finally, you will circle one of the overall performance indicators at the bottom of the page. It explains in your scoring guide how you would receive each one of these criteria. If you are a coach, you will be receiving this form. When you get this form, you will write the student's name who is the player you've been paired up with on the top line. The coach's corner is used for you to record notes of your player's participation. Now, since the discussion might be going faster than you can write things down, that's okay as long as you get the gist of things that were asked and comments that were made. So here's where you would bullet point questions that your player asked, and here's where you would record comments that your player made in response to their classmates' questions. If there's any other notes that you'd like to record, so your player did a nice job using transitional statements or inviting others into the discussion or referring back to the text or the videos, here's where you would jot that down. At halftime of the Socratic Seminar, players will turn and face their coaches, and the coaches will run through this criteria. The coach will start by sharing what the player's best comment has been so far and why it was very good, and then they will go through strengths and areas for growth. The following bullet points are suggestions of things you might want to say to your player and have a discussion with during the halftime huddle. Additionally, during the halftime huddle, the 3 different reporters will share out their opinions and reports on how the Socratic Seminar is going. After the halftime, the players will go back into the discussion and continue discussing for about 5 more minutes. Coaches, at the end of the discussion, while the players are reflecting on their own participation and doing a self-reflection, you will be doing a peer evaluation for your players' participation. The same scoring guide has been provided for you. Check any of the boxes you feel your player met. So you read all of these statements and see if your player met them, and you just put a little check mark right here. Additionally, you will complete the coach's feedback form. The first question is asking what specific skill do you recommend your peer to work on and why, and it's important to be specific so that your player knows what they should be working on in the future. And then I'd like you also to compare and contrast the discussion skill between the first half and after the halftime huddle. What improved and what stayed the same. Finally, you will give your player an overall rating. You need to look at the number of boxes you checked in the scoring guide and then determine what speaking level and participation level they fall in. Additionally, all students will receive a helpful transitions document to use during the Socratic Seminar. These are not required to use, but they're just suggestions on how you can enhance your participation in the Socratic Seminar. When we work on a Socratic Seminar, you'll need to have this document out as a reference just in case you would like to refer back to it.